Yo, yo, yo. Happy Thursday, everyone. Guys, presented by Prize Picks. Get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 and use the promo code Welcome to Light Years. Andy, my guy. Warriors lose to the Dallas Mavericks. That's 0-2 post Jimmy. In some ways, it was a positive step because I thought they played a competitive game, but end of the day, loss is a loss. We're 2 weeks away from the trade deadline, which is really the big thing. It's really going to be a signal to us about what direction the season is going. I don't want to get too much into like the micro analysis stuff on a game to game basis when we know that's coming down the way. But yeah, we're here. We're back in the abyss, bro. We're back in the abyss. That's the best way to think about it for me right now, which is like I'm still a little mad. I'm still a little depressed about the Jimmy injury, but like I probably pivot faster than you. Just from a personal perspective, I'm like kind of like trying to figure out what comes next. Maybe it's hopium, maybe it's copium, where I'm just like, all right, let's just do something to get fixed, But like it is what it is, man. Like 2 weeks to trade deadline. I don't know. They might win one of these games or two of these games before then. That would be amazing. But I need to see where they're going with it, because if they do nothing, bro, I lived the Kohan era. I know what that's going to look like post deadline if they do nothing.
Yeah, look, they were 5-point favorites tonight. They should have won the game. They didn't. So we don't have to fix it. I mean, they should have won the game. They're a better team. They didn't win. Which is frankly, I thought pretty embarrassing effort tonight. Really, they maybe had two players play well. I don't even think Steph was amazing, but he had 38 points. So it's just a classic. And Steph looks depressed out there. I'll say that. He's not even smiling. 14 for 27. I mean, you rarely see Steph shoot that many shots. So I think that's, to me, that's really where it is. It's every time I have to watch this team, it's depressing because Jimmy isn't there. So you get remembered that Jimmy isn't there. That sucks. And then you just look at Steph and he's just out there and he's not having fun. Like does he look like he had fun today to anyone here? Like he just looks like he's going through the motions. Now, credit to him, 38 points while going through the motions. I don't think there's that many players in the world that could do that. I'll tell you
just
that.
Speaks to how good he is,
Yeah, still, right? And so I don't it's like I'm not like frustrated or like saying like they should do this, they should do that, because I don't know what you can really do. Maybe that's the worst part. It's like, yeah, man, maybe they should have played Melton more, or maybe they should have not played GP2, or maybe Draymond shouldn't play. But it's like, I don't know. What can you do, right? We've seen this type of basketball before pre-Jimmy. Like it's the same old stuff. Like they can't guard anyone. They can't make open shots, open layups, open threes. They can't make free throws. It's all the same stuff. Brandon Williams, how many points did he have? To like no shocker, 19 points. Like no shocker. They don't have anyone that can guard him. Like real shocker. So yeah, it's all I got on the game. I know you don't want to talk too much of the game, but that it's kind of like Najee Marshall had 30 points, man. Like this is the stuff that's like, this is not. I mean, it's not acceptable, but we kind of know it's going to happen, right? We at this point we kind of know, like it's not surprising. So it's hard, it's tough.
Yeah, they're outmanned. They are outmanned. They have a lot of good players, but they only make sense in context of great players. By the way, Andy, I'm getting weird feedback.
Yeah, my bad.
On yours, just a heads up. It's one of those things where I'm going to give them grace for at least a couple weeks off of this injury. Also knowing that the trade deadline is officially 2 weeks away. So I'm not going to react to this loss the way I would react to it in a different context. That's just reality. It doesn't mean it doesn't piss me off, but it is what it is at this point. I mean, my takeaways from tonight's game, and we'll pivot on to some other stuff in a second, is D'Anthony Melton, that dude can fucking play. From my math, they need to figure out a way to get 20 or 25 million off the books to be able to keep him next year. And watching them, I think that needs to be a priority. That's like a micro thing. We'll see. They have time to make those decisions. But dude, he is good.
The Melton stuff I think is interesting. He went up for a play where he absorbed the contact and then like floated up another couple inches and finished over someone. And I was just like, man, was he that athletic pre-injury? It doesn't really look like he's missed a step. Um, and it got me to thinking, like, and I know Melton's younger, but Melton's had a lot of injuries. Like, you can argue like he's a pretty injury prone player in his career. But under Rick Celebrini coming off the ACL, he's 27 years old now. Like, looks pretty damn good. Jimmy Butler is going to be 10 years older. But this is the kind of stuff where I'm thinking, like, man, like coming back from an ACL just isn't that big of a deal anymore. It just, it just isn't. It just isn't. Like, what player in the league nowadays in the last couple of years coming back from an ACL? Like, this isn't football. Like, we're coming back from an injury where it's like, oh, he's cooked. He's cooked.
Clay.
And that's where I'll
Clay Thompson.
Clay still play though. Like he could still play. Like, he was still good.
Yeah,
when
but
he
not
came
a star though. Not a star.
They won a championship with him. Like, he was good.
Not because of him.
Relax. He was good. He was good for that team, and they won the championship with him playing big minutes. Jaylen Brown, a couple stops, big threes during that comeback. Oh, he was part of that. He was absolutely part of that. And he had 2 injuries. He was not. No, he was not. He played massive minutes in that series. Go look it up. And he had 2. He had an Achilles. Thank you for the comments. I forgot about that. He tore his Achilles. And I think that's the thing. So if that's the example, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's a player out there right now where it's like, oh, he tore his ACL, he's done. Now, the age, I think, is part of it. But if I were to offer some hopium, like, that's what I've got. Where it's like, hey, man, like, he just came back from an ACL and he looks freaking awesome. I'm not saying Jimmy's going to look great when it comes back. But I don't think it's going to be that bad. Like, I don't think it's this he's done for his career type of thing that I think many people think. So that's what I've got. It's interesting that you say they need to get off 20 million and try to keep him. I didn't even think about where he's going to be next year.
Well, that's not an opinion. Okay, sorry. It is an opinion. That's a lie. I think he's going to get the full mid-level. To open up the full mid-level, they probably need to cut around 20 million. And that is assuming you have Kuminga's contract and Buddy Hield's contract on the book. So I'm not going to say it's undoable. What I am saying is to bring him, like, Andy, you probably agree with me on this. I think someone is going to throw a full mid-level exception, which is like 4 years, 65 million at D'Anthony Melton. Like, he's playing well enough that here's a good example. Nickeil Alexander-Walker got a full mid-level exception. I think someone out there is going to be like, Melton, 15, 16 a year, done. That dude is a damn good role player, right? So when I say they need to cut 20 million to keep him, what I'm saying is they need to cut about 20 million to open up the full mid-level so they can offer him the same thing. I don't know. It's too early to make those judgments. That's just like me, like, off the cuff thinking about, like, how do they keep him? I don't think he's signing another veteran minimum. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, they're going to need him. I mean, they're going to need him. You can argue. I mean, he got his minutes limit right now, I'm sure, but you can argue he should be starting. But I mean, those 23 minutes he played. Imagine if he could play 30. They might win this game. So tough. If
you're joining us on YouTube, I just want to call us out. We are
guys. Is my mic messed up? Guys, can we get the comments here? Because you're telling me my mic is messed up. It seems fine to me, but you guys tell me. I don't know what's going on.
If you are listening on YouTube, I've dropped the link. I want people to call in. If you want to call in and join the show, you are welcome to call the show. Okay. All right. Before we go forward, a couple other things on this game. Let's talk Kuminga real quick. Kuminga had 5 minutes of awesome basketball, and then got hurt there. So it doesn't sound like it's a serious injury. This is just the Kuminga rodeo. I don't know what else to say at this point. Like, I really don't want to comment on this stuff, Andy, because I don't want to give certain people the light of day. But like the circle jerk over them getting destroyed by Toronto because Kuminga got 20 points in garbage time was infuriating to watch. And it's one of those things where I'm like, have we not grown up beyond this? You know, it has nothing to do with him, by the way, in my opinion. It's like one of those things where it's just like, you guys are that addicted to like your take that you have to do that. It's kind of gross.
Me and you agree on this. I'll tell you that. Me and you agree on this. Yeah, you've watched a lot. You've watched more Warriors than I have in your life, but I've watched some bad Warriors.
I've watched more bad Warriors than you. That's for sure.
Yeah, right. And we know what that looks like. And you know, when you have to watch a team lose by 20 points, never look like they had a shot, and we have fans online celebrating about one player doing well. By the way, a guy that won't be on this team in 2 weeks, maybe, and probably not in the offseason, right?
Oh, I'm not so confident there, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I've been burnt here before too much.
Why do you think I hedged? It's embarrassing, man. It really is. It's as we're not fan, because we are the fan podcast, right? People come to Light Years podcast because they like that. You know, you and I like to shoot the shit, and we're, you know, we're pretty honest, and you know, we don't act like we're better than people. But I think, Sam, we are definitely better in this case, where it's you cannot just want to go back to where the Warriors were before Steph. I know we're likely going to go there, Sam. We're probably going to get there here, but cheering for that is embarrassing. Yeah, we do look depressed today. I think I'm just sad. I'm sad watching this team is sad. And the Kuminga stuff makes me sad because he played very well today. So maybe we should talk about it. He played very well today. He was plus 18 and he only played 9 minutes. But I think it's just, you know, the stuff with Kuminga the last couple of seasons is always like he's been hurt. They've been hurt. He was hurt almost half the year last year. And this season, he's been hurt a bunch. Well, you can argue whether it's real or not, but he's been hurt a bunch too. So really, it's been the last year and a half. He's been hurt a lot for a guy that's super athletic. And so I don't know. I don't know if I have a take on Kuminga in itself, right? Because like it's not like, do you think he got better? Do you think he's showing more stuff? Like I don't think it's that. It's just like man, you gotta stay on the court. He has a chance here to stay on the court and prove something. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: the only interesting thing that happened to me, because he's a talented young player. I think my opinion on Kuminga is he's not as talented as he thinks he is. And his arrogance and defiance about coachability is what's going to set him in. You know what I mean? Like he clearly is talented, but he's one of those players where he's not LeBron. You know what I mean? Like he's not LeBron where he can just tell a coach to fuck off and he'll be fine, you know? And if he's not going to be coachable, then it's like, who cares? Like you put up numbers, it doesn't really matter on a consistent basis. And you can say Steve has made his mistakes during the entire thing. And I would agree with you, by the way. I don't think Steve's been particularly perfect, but I'll tell you what this tells me. As a group.
Want to reveal your starters tonight?
No. I think Kuminga's still in the rotation.
Yes, he is. Go ahead. More, I know you got lots more Kuminga questions. Go ahead. Fire away.
We'll see how it goes.
What do you want to see from him?
Slater. Okay. What do you want to see?
You know what that is? That's exhaustion. That's exhaustion over a situation that should have been resolved 2 years ago. That's what that is. That's an FU to Joe. That's a FU to management. And I can't really blame Steve, to be honest with you.
Of course not.
My opinion here is pretty simple. This guy's the winningest coach in the NBA the last 15 years. He's made his opinions known privately and publicly for an extended period of time. And we're still doing this. Just fire him. Or trade JK. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those things where it's like, make a decision on the matter. And I can tell you this right now. You know who agrees with Steve? It's Steph and Draymond. I don't know.
Do you think it's just how quickly do you think Steve gets a job? if he gets fired? How quickly? Like before
He's the Spurs
walks
head
off the
coach
post?
next year. He's the Spurs head coach next year, and they're winning a title.
Yep.
That's what's happening.
Yep.
I'll put money on it. He is the Spurs head coach if they let him go right now.
I mean, I told you this. I was guessing. You got sources. I was guessing. So it's an obvious. It was like, yeah, I gotta be the Spurs, right? But no, I guess my actual point wasn't like, you know, who he's gonna go, but it was more like, you know, or we got all this stuff to say about Steve and Kuminga, all this. Like, okay, yeah, go see what happens when Steve is gone and how quickly he gets a job. That should tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kirk Lacob, does he get a job? He gets hurt. Does he get a job? When he was Mike Dunleavy, does anyone hire Mike Dunleavy to be their GM? Does anyone? Joe Lacob? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? I'm gonna go with the guy that's actually knows what the hell he's doing. So with the quote, I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, he's tired. We all got 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're gonna sit here. We're gonna wait 2 weeks before this thing is hopefully. You making me depressed again. You said maybe it won't be over, but I hope that it is. And I got a feeling they're gonna put Kuminga on ice here. Looks like he's having an MRI. Mike in the chat saying OKC doesn't act this way. Boston doesn't act this way. You're correct. They do not have disalignment between their GM and coach. Yeah, what are we talking about? Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference is I don't see Wick Grossbeck, or to be honest, I don't know who the name of the new managing general partner of the Boston Celtics is, or the owner of the Oklahoma City Thunder sitting courtside jerking off over
a dunk, a Kuminga layup.
Who's the fucking 14th man on the Thunder?
Aaron Wiggins, probably. Who, by the way,
he actually plays
6th man for the Warriors. Yeah.
To me,
it's European guys. One of those European guys.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. So we're gonna end it there. That's it.
Okay, all right. Let Yours podcast. We're gonna get to some callers, man. We want to hear from you guys. As Sam said, links in the chat. We got some people waiting for us. So, but before we do that, Let Yours podcast. We're brought to you guys by Prize Picks. Prize Picks. The big game is almost here. There's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is around the corner, that also means it is your last chance to get into football action before next season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds. Turn your sports take into real money all season long. Prize Picks also now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Create a lineup. All you got to do is pick more or pick less on a few player stats for your shot to win. You got any names for me that you like this weekend? You got any football? Seahawks, Rams? You like anybody? That one?
Seahawks, Rams feels like a trap where no matter who you pick is going to be a problem. But I'm liking the more on a few Patriots plays. I have look, they're at home. I get it, but I have a hard time seeing how Denver's offense is going to score the ball with Stidham. And my logic here is it's not that I think the Patriots are going to put up huge offense. I just think when your defense is going to be on the field for 40 minutes, eventually something will happen. So I like the more on Drake May. I like the more on Stephon Diggs, Let Yours GOON.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. I've been actually looking at the Hawks Rams game, but I'm still kind of like it hasn't hit me yet. It just hasn't.
I'll read you guys some numbers. I'll read you some numbers. Drake May 228.5 for pass yards. So I like the more on that one based on time of possession you're saying. So Drake May 1.5 pass TDs. Go with the more on that one. Our guy, your guy, Stephon Diggs is 45.5 reception yards, more or less. So that feels like those feel like pretty fair numbers. Go with the Patriots. Download the app today. Use code LightYears to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LightYears to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
It is good to be right. It's always good to be right. It does not matter. It does not matter if the team wins or loses. It matters if the agenda wins or loses. Let's be real. No, that's not true at all. I'd rather trade the agenda for wins. Guys, also new year, same chaos. But what if your pantry could actually make life easier? Running a home is already enough. You shouldn't also have to be an ingredient detective. Thrive Market does the vetting for you. Over 1,000 restricted ingredients, vetted brands, trusted staples. They make it easy with thousands of healthier swaps for everything for your kids. Look, I have a 4-year-old boy. I'm going to tell you this. The one thing I know when it comes to young boys is you want to restrict the sugar intake. That's it. That's like my one rule in life. Too much sugar, you're going to pay for it. And believe me, you will pay for it no matter what. So look, I've never been the biggest like health freak in terms of like ingredient stuff, but like I learned pretty quickly, I don't want him eating stuff that has high sugar. Not at all. Not at all. Because it's going to make my life miserable, which is really all that matters. Right. So what Thrive Market makes it easy to do is they have filters that lets me set. I go low sugar snacks, found stuff I need for them. Cheaper than I can get at like the grocery store at Whole Foods, whatever it may be. And it comes to the doorstep for me. Like, what else do you want? So, yeah, when everything in the pantry is safe, food becomes fun again. Snack time used to be a negotiation with kids. Now it's an automatic yes. Guys, join Thrive Market with my link, Thrive Market /Lightyears. Get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. Guys, thrivemarket.com/lightyears, 30% off your first order, plus a free $60 gift. And basically a free round of groceries right there. Like, who doesn't want that? So, guys, hit it up. Say we sent you. All right, let's get to it. We got a couple people here. We'll start here. Why don't we try with Chase first?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
What's up, man?
Tweaked my back at the gym, officially in my mid-30s. Had to
Doing
fake
what?
like I wasn't hurting, but I was dying inside.
What are you doing?
Bro,
Lift my way
the back tweak in the gym, like you see your
When-
whole life going in front of you.
Oh,
There's not
when you
another
get
way around it.
that rush to the head, that's when you know
Oh.
you're alive. And
The
then you
first
come
time-
home, the Marshall dropping 30, it's just beautiful. Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
The
Gotta
first
go
time,
be,
the,
Sorry.
the first time I did it, I want to give the story. I was doing shoulder shrugs,
Mm.
and because I never hurt myself lifting. When you've never hurt yourself lifting, you get a little brazen. You lift more than you should. So I went to do some like 100 shrugs. I got a little aggressive with it. I pulled them. I did it. I felt something snap my back. I immediately dropped it. Someone had to help me out of the weight room. I never felt more like an old man than that moment. To your point, I was like early to mid 30s at that point. It was a very humiliating moment for me. So hopefully it was better for you.
Pretty similar. Pretty similar. I could go different directions. I think one, like everyone, Microsoft 365 was down today, so I was like battling a little bit with Kuminga stands. And one thing I just kind of want you guys' opinion on, I guess two things. First with Kuminga, I'm not necessarily a hater, but everyone always says like, oh, he's really talented. And I feel like he's talented athletically, but I think in terms of like dribbling, not very good. Shooting, not very good. 3-point shot, not very good. Defense comes and goes. And so like I just don't get when everyone says, oh, he has a ton of talent outside of athletically, like what that talent is, except for going to the hole and finishing around the rim. I would probably give him that. And then the second question I had is I don't know if I believe this, what I'm about to say, but I just kind of wanted your opinion on Kerr developing young guys. Is it just that the young guys aren't very good? Like, what is there to develop when you're trying to like utilize Steph's like from 2020 to now? Like when you're trying to utilize like Steph's career, and like the talent's not very good. There's this, like disconnect between the front office and the coach. Like is he that bad of a coach, like player developer, or just like the player's not very good?
Okay.
It's a good question. Appreciate you, Chase. Hope
yeah.
the back's doing well, by the way. Nothing worse than
hot.
back injury.
Stretch the hammies.
Oh yes, and Andy's right. Just get on your back and start pulling your knees to your chest.
That's funny. That's actually that's a good
Have a
one.
good night, guys.
Thanks, Chase. Appreciate you, man. Like, love the energy. You say I'll go first. Is player development overrated in basketball? I'm asking the question. I don't know. I think part of it is like, yes, you can get players really good, but I don't think this is baseball. Like, this isn't like, let's go bring this guy in and he's not going to work on the Giants because the Giants suck at developing players, but like, we're the Dodgers and we come in and we're going to make this pitcher, we're going to fix his arm angle, and all of a sudden he's going to go from throwing 92 to 98, and where he's going to pick up a new sweeper, and all of a sudden he's unstoppable, right? Like, this isn't that. You can't just bring in a basketball player and just be like, all right, we're going to teach him some
because
new tricks.
Because they don't function by themselves. Like a pitcher, you can be like, all right, we're going to start you as a reliever, and you're just going to come in for 1 inning. Like, that's not how basketball works. You know, basketball, you have to play with 4 other people. So just inherently that makes it more difficult.
And that's like one of JK's weaknesses, right? Is he doesn't know how to play team basketball. And so I think, so to answer the question, it's a long-winded way. I think the only thing that the Warriors and Steve suck at developing is they don't allow for players to mess up, so they just can't play for a long period of time. Like, that's the only thing. Their one success story is Jordan Poole. And Jordan Poole got to play so much his first year, and he was so bad. So bad. He was one of the worst players in the NBA, and he just played through it because the team sucked. And if JK had the chance to play through it, he'd be way better than he is right now. And that's the only thing I would say that the Warriors and Steve struggle at. And I don't. Why is that their fault? We're trying to win games, brother. You know,
that's fundamentally the front office's problem. I think you're right. I think the issue is, to develop, you have to play, and to play a raw player, you have to be okay with the losses that come with it. And Steve has never been okay with it, not because he's not okay with it, but because he has to manage Steph and Draymond and Jimmy and Clay and like all these like championship caliber veterans. Like, everyone's like, just let him play through it for 20 games. You go fucking say that to Steph. You go tell Steph we're going to not try to win because we want to see what this kid who's never done anything has.
What are we doing here? Yeah.
And so Steve gets up on the podium and he's the bad guy. He does the bad guy thing. He protects Steph. That's really what it is. But what it really is it's organizational malpractice to subject Steph to that sort of thing. And maybe Steph deserves some blame for not like lighting a fire under their ass a little more. But I mean, there's just a reality to it, because someone like JK, whether you believe in him or you don't, he needs runway. He's clearly uninterested in being a role player, which is like arrogant. And I think that's part of the reason Steve has an issue with him. But okay, he wants to see if he can be a star. He wants to play 30 minutes a game and see what happens. It's not happening on the Warriors, buddy. You're not going to be Steph Curry. To your point, Steph looked miserable tonight and he had 38 points efficiently. Like, that's the level of ridiculously good he is. I thought he played a terrible game and he ended with 38 points on over 50% from the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the thing you're talking about. So it's like, it's nothing we haven't said for 5 years in a row. You can't bring in these like raw development projects and compete with Steph and expect anything other than what you've seen, which is mid. It's a lot. Like,
let me ask you this.
I talked about Mike in the chat a few times. Like, you can blame everyone in different ways, but like the overarching issue is no organizational alignment. Like, do you want to win or do you want to develop? If you want to develop, get rid of Steve and tell Steph, like, chill, you know? If you want to win, get rid of the young guys and go all in on it, but make a decision.
Please, for the love of God. Quick question for you. Do you think Franz Wagner will be just as good as he is now if he was drafted by the Warriors? Do you think he'd be better?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I think he would. I don't think he'd be averaging 23 points per game on the Warriors.
Yeah.
Maybe he would right now, to be honest, now that things have been cleared. But I don't know that he would be as good as he is in Orlando. But I do think he would be playing 30 minutes a game because he's the type of player who can fit around guys or take over. You know, you're seeing it with someone like Denny Advia in Portland, where this is finally his opportunity to be the man. but he was comfortably useful in like supporting roles for a couple of years prior to this. Not everyone's wired that way.
I think you're right. I think I agree. I was just wondering, and I know that's what people ask. Same with Şengün and stuff like that. But I just, sometimes these players, man, you draft the right guys, it don't really matter. Like Konka Nipple is kind of like everyone's favorite player right now. Can you imagine Konka Nipple on the Warriors? Like it's just, what I mean, like sometimes the fit just doesn't make sense too.
I mean, like
these guys.
Konka Nipple is just a much better version of Pods. Like I don't want to, but like. Pod stays on the floor because he's useful and he competes hard and he understands. Like he consistently makes the right decision, even if the result isn't right. Does that make sense? So if you're talking about young guys who will consistently make the right decision, like yes, they would get on the floor. So to me, they drafted a bunch of Hail Mary prospects.
Yep. Yeah, they did.
Anyway,
yep.
Let's keep moving. We got a couple other people. Supermaster.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're on, dude.
Oh, we can hear you.
Yeah. I'm good to see you guys. Like, I've been watching you since it's been like 2-3 years. By the way, I'm from India, so I'm gonna try very hard for that American accent. I hope you don't mind.
Your language is amazing. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to ask you about what do you think of Draymond during this stretch, especially in the fourth quarter. Like again, forgive me for my accent, okay?
No, you're good. You're good.
Don't worry about it, man. You're speaking your second language. Good luck with Andy and me going second language. So
you don't want to hear me speak Chinese. Draymond's. So I think with Steph, you can kind of feel with these two players. They're taking the Jimmy loss really hard, and it's showing on their face. I think with Steph, he's just obviously a much better player. I think with Draymond, they need Draymond to be even. I've talked really all season about how he struggled, regardless of even if Jimmy was on the court. But now with Jimmy out, they need Draymond to be even better as a player, especially defensively. And the offense is, I mean, he was hot for about like a week or two there, but now it's like, I mean, we knew that wasn't real, and it's just. It's getting hard, man, and he gets to a point where he's just look. The flagrant foul was bullshit at the end, but
yeah,
he has a way of snowballing. I think mentally now, where it's just like he's just kind of he gets out of it so quick. You can see him unravel so quick now, and I think part of it is just he's getting older. He knows he can't do the things that he used to be able to do. Like, especially defensively. I'm not even talking about offense. I'm saying especially defensively. He just can't do the things he's able to do. So I think when he's arguing with the refs and things, you could just see how fast it turns. And that's another thing. It's like, I can't even, it's just sad, right? That's it. That's what I keep going back to. It's just like, there's really no solution. What is the solution for Draymond right now? What do you want to do?
I also think the other thing with Draymond is his skill set is doing everything other than offense.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are so devoid of offense, you just notice his mistakes more. And it's just kind of like, oh, that's cute. You do all the little things. We need someone who puts a ball in the basket. So I just think he looks worse in these scenarios as well.
Sorry to cut you off in between, but like I wanted to say this. I've seen a lot of people, commenting like we should trade Draymond. I think they should have traded Draymond back in the year they didn't they lost to Kings in the play-in. He was going berserk. He was throwing hands at everybody. I feel that was the season. They should have been like, nah, man, we can't continue with this. Just an opinion. I could be wrong. I'm just saying.
I do think there's some truth to the fact that what Andy's not some, but like a lot of truth to what Andy's saying also, which is like these guys need stakes. A guy like Draymond really doesn't look like he's worth his while if you're not playing with stakes too. So I don't know what you do with that. Like you could convince me that you need to trade him too. In the scheme of things, I don't think that's going to slide with Steph, but I don't know, man. They're in a tough spot because they literally lost their second option. Like everything made sense with Steph and Jimmy, and you were just looking to see if you could upgrade the pieces around them. Now you have to kind of start at square one, which is really depressing. We're back to where we were before the Jimmy trade. Like, let's be honest. That's what it is. The answers are they're going to need to acquire a replacement for Jimmy, and then they're going to need to start looking at the other pieces, which is a lot of work. So until then, it's going to be a rocky ride like this.
You think Joe and Mike are your guys? Do all the work? You think Joe and Mike?
Supermaster, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Supermaster. I appreciate it, man. Calling it for much love.
Do I think they're going to get it done? I don't know if they're going to get it done. I don't.
That was a rhetorical question. Come on, we know they ain't gonna get shit done.
I actually have more faith in the front office non-Joe. I think Joe adds a VC element to it that's not needed, where he's like, we could make this trade, or we could hold on to our assets, or we could hold on to our assets for Giannis and make the bigger trade. And I'm just like, brother, stop it with that.
Yeah. I think everybody's tired of that. Also, like, people that say trade Draymond, and look, I've been off Draymond this year. I'm kind of tired of his whole thing, especially the podcast. Just Jesus Christ, so bad. But you're not. I
just click over the clips.
Yeah, I think so. I'm with you. I think you and I. You're not trading him. You're not getting anything you want for him. You're not. He's not going to help, and nobody wants him or is going to give you stuff that's going to help you. He's better off on the team with Steph. Go upgrade somewhere else that you can make Draymond better. Right? That's what you're like. If Draymond is your third or fourth or fifth best guy, you have a shot. But right now, it's like you need him to make such a big impact. It's not there, man. It's not somebody. What happened in 2021? I'm like, that was 5 years ago. That's what fucking happened in 2021. It's 5 years ago, man.
You have a lot of money to play with, so we don't need to worry about it right now. All right, Tatiana, what's up, bro?
So I have a question for you guys. Who can make a layup? GP2 right now or Chase with a backpack?
GP2 is one of those guys where it's like he's good when it's like the same with Draymond. He's like a poor man's version. It's like he kind of looked good for a while next to Jimmy, where the play is a little bit easier around him. But when they have to do more stuff, it's so bad. Like nobody's guarding him, nobody's guarding Draymond. Steph's just running around. Got three guys guarding him, and GP2 is kind of like the frustrating part with GP2 is he plays really like free, like he does like behind the back passes, and he'll like dribble between his legs, and you're just like, bro, what is going on? Why did he just do a behind the back pass while I was in the middle of the game, and then turns it over, and I'm just like, brother, are you Steph? Anyway, it's just it's rough. It's rough.
I think my biggest point with ownership is I think we just need to stop praising ownership at this point. It's like, I understand Joe is one of the best owners in Bay Area history, but at the same time, like for the past 6 years, you kind of been dog water despite having a top 5 player of all time. That's like starting at third base and then getting yourself put out like a Giants base runner this past season. And then we win because the team somehow has Barry Bonds. It's like, it's that simple, bro.
Come on. That was a cheat. Come on. We don't need to talk about the Giants. Don't bring them up. They're even more
do you have any hope? Do you have any hope with the Giants at this point? Because I for sure don't.
No.
Tatch, I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate.
Let's get to Mike here.
What's up, brothers? How we doing?
Hey, just hanging in there. If you want my honest opinion, I'm not going to get super depressed until the trade deadline passes. That doesn't mean there aren't moments where I'm upset about it, but I'm trying to keep the bigger picture in mind, knowing that things can change. If we pass the trade deadline and it's this, then I will be very upset.
Andy, how you doing, bud?
We'll keep living.
We'll keep moving. It's fine. I was going to talk about Dre, but the last caller, Tachion already touched on it because we were talking about it in the private chat. I wanted to ask about the Dunleavy thing. Not necessarily in comparison to ownership, because I think ownership is its own bigger issue. But I think the interesting thing about Dunleavy's comments is that people think Mike, who have been paying attention, think Mike just kind of came to the org when he became the GM. You know, he was the assistant GM, then head of when JK was drafted. Then he was the head of basketball operations, and then took the GM role.
Bob's right hand man.
And since the 22 run, they've been in a organization that's been largely reactive and not proactive. So, like, where my criticism with Dunleavy is, like, yeah, it was a cute comment, but it's organizational malpractice to make that kind of comment publicly. If you want to say that to the agent, Aaron Turner's a moron. I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. But saying that publicly when you got 2 weeks to make a deal, I don't understand.
I got thoughts on that. I think that's why Bob Myers was the highest paid GM in basketball. That's my opinion. It's not that I think Bob's skill set is needed on every team. I think it's incredibly difficult to deal with an owner like Joe Lacob and have everything running on schedule. And I think you're seeing exactly how difficult Bob's job was when he stepped away. Mike understands talent. Like, he clearly is a good scout and he clearly understands the job, but he doesn't have that like level of finesse that Bob had to control Joe and to make sure none of the drama ever got outside of the building. And look, like, you can criticize Mike for that. To me, that's more of a, like, I don't know, Bob's just like one of one. Like, not a lot of people have that type of ability to control really powerful people and make everything run the way it is.
Bob was an agent too. You got to remember, Mike was a player. That's kind of part of it too, right? He's got the experience. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now I do think, Mike, though, push back a little bit. I thought the comment was hilarious. I think
it wasn't.
Blown out.
I'm just saying, don't make it
I think it's. I think it's kind of blown out of proportion. It just, look, man. Like, we're 2 weeks to go. I mean, they've been trying to trade him all off season. They're now trying to trade him this season. We act like these teams are coming and saying, like, oh my god, Mike wants to trade Kuminga. What the fuck? I didn't know that. Oh my god, I had no idea. Like, come on, guys. Everybody knows the Warriors are trying to get rid of him. The Warriors know exactly what they can get. Like, this isn't new stuff. Like, they know they're going to have to give up 2 to 3 picks for Trey Murphy if they want to make that trade. Like, and shit ain't going to change. They know that, like, whatever they want to get, they know the packages that it's either they do it or they don't do it. And they're waiting maybe till February 5th for maybe the Kings to give something. Maybe the Pelicans will say, okay, give us one more pick, we'll do it, right? But, like, other than that, like, these teams are, I think it's pretty, like, this is why the Kuminga trade value stuff is, like, kind of BS to me. It's like, I think teams know what Kuminga is, dude. Like, a couple games here or there in garbage time isn't going to change anyone's mind. Maybe he drops 30 tonight. Great. It's one fucking game. Go do it for 5 games then. He won't. Because we've seen him.
That's what the Warriors are doing, though. You know, that's what Joe's doing. He's like, let's take this to the deadline. Let's see if someone's gonna. I agree. Let's see if someone's gonna up the offer at the last minute, because the offer sucks right now. Odds are they won't. Odds are no one's gonna be like, you know, I was not willing to give a first round pick on January 30th, but February 3rd, I'm giving you 3. You know, like that's probably not happening. You know.
Yeah,
that's the only other thing I'd say before I get out of here, just as like a big picture thing, just to tap back in on Draymond. How many turnovers do you think Dre's had in the last 6 games?
I don't want to know.
20?
16.
Sounds about right.
And it's like, I think the big picture question in terms of how you want to manage this roster is like, I don't think you trade Draymond this year. Maybe you think about it in the offseason. But, like, this is how dynasties end, and, like, that part of it, I think, is a little rough when the older guy gets a little too old. But anyway, it is what it is.
I think the bigger issue for the Warriors is this Kuminga obsession. They need to figure out where they're going with it, because everything is downstream of what your options are. Part of the reason the Jimmy injury sucks so much. I mean, it sucks because he got hurt, but it
Mhm.
sucks because he gave them structure. Like we knew they were building around Steph and Jimmy, and we were looking for pieces who fit specifically the way that they play. And you can say for better or worse, it just gave you direction. Like you are Mike Dunleavy. You're like, oh, that player's good, but he's not what we need. Well, I'm looking for players who do X, Y, and Z because it fits around what we're doing. And now they're back into the wilderness because essentially they just need to make a talent play. And hopefully that talent play aligns with Steph. And if that talent play aligns with Steph, then you start looking at like, what are the fit pieces around that? Draymond is one of the greatest role players of all time, maybe the greatest, but he is a role player when you think about it contextually, offensively. So now they're floating in the abyss, and that's where you end up with these games where like he's throwing the ball all over. It's like, well, they don't know what the fuck they want to do other than get the ball to Steph. So it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, it's as an objective observer watching these games, their spacing's way off. They're still trying to figure out the post Jimmy stuff. And honestly, it's a roster that's stocked with like just a bunch of guys. Is what it feels like. Like, you know, I think Pods is valuable in certain circumstances, and you know, I think Al's a little too old to really be contributing in a real way at the level that he is. But otherwise, like, there ain't a lot there outside of Steph, who once again gave you 38 and like in a loss. That's the tough part to me.
Yep. Appreciate you, Mike. All right, let's get to Anthony.
Yo, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in clear, brother.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say that I hope Kuminga's injury is not that serious. You know, we don't like seeing injuries like that.
I agree.
But one thing I want to comment on is that I'm a bit frustrated with Kerr and all the other guys saying that, oh, we can compete and all of these things. Like, you see, you have to have a 37-year-old drop 8 threes, how many threes he dropped today, and you're still losing. Like, you don't have the help needed to get into the postseason even, because if we don't make a trade in the deadline, I don't think
Anthony,
we have a postseason.
hold on. I wouldn't take his quote to heart. I wouldn't take his quote to heart. I think Steve knows. I think Steve knows that the team doesn't have enough. You got to think of it this way, right? If he comes out and says, "Hey, man, like we got to make a trade," you know, as much as I said earlier, like, hey, teams know they want to trade Kuminga. It's like they still got to put on a show. Like, he's still leading the team, right? He can't just be like to the guys in the locker room, we don't have enough.
I mean, I hope that's like what's happening behind the scenes, because Kuminga is really inconsistent. Like, one day he's gonna drop 20, and the other day he's gonna drop like 5 points, and then he's also injury prone. Like we saw today what happened.
Been hurt a lot. He's been hurt a lot. Yeah.
Non-contact too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tough.
Yeah,
it's the ankle and the. Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead, Sam.
No, you're right, and I think Andy's hitting the bigger picture correctly, which is like you just can't take their statements publicly that seriously. Steve gets into trouble when he says the roster is not that good, and he gets into trouble when he says we can compete because the roster is that good. Ultimately, like, a coach is in a tough spot when they get put on that question, because if they're honest about their opinion, they look like assholes. But if they sell you, you're also looking at it like, I have eyes too, Steve. I like D'Anthony Melton just as much as everyone else. I don't think we're a contender without him. So I think the reality is we're all frustrated. We're all upset Jimmy got injured, and we're all waiting to see what happens over the next 2 weeks, because if they don't make moves, this is going to be the normal till the end of the year. And if
if they don't make a move, the season is
correct.
Over.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like, if they don't make a move, like, I'm going to pivot to draft content. We're going to start looking up prospects. We're going to talk about Michigan stretch fives. I got one for you, Andy.
Yeah, just tank for the whole season, get into the lottery, and draft someone else.
I just if they don't do anything, and I think they will. I saw a report today, and again, this is not. But like I saw the DeMar DeRozan and Nick Claxton. I sent it to Sam this morning, and he just laughed. But I looked at it, I was like, hey, man, it don't seem too bad. Just from the perspective of like, just make it so that this season. I know, but just make it so that this season.
Just no DeRozan.
Sam
No
can't do
DeRozan.
that.
No DeRozan.
Cannot do that. I've never seen you. I'm usually the
What
one.
is the point? What is the point? I would rather they suck and get a draft pick. Like it is it's like Chris Paula.
Would you?
It's Chris Paula. Yes.
It is.
Because I don't like DeRozan's not going to even get them out of the plan. I'd
never
rather they
seen you
just
this mad.
I'd rather they just like a 36-year-old mid-range shooter. At least get me the point guard. At least get me Chris Paul back. He's funny. He's funny.
DeMar that you I can't. I don't like DeMar either, but he really gets under your skin. I'm gonna make it a point to bring it up on every podcast. Every podcast. The thing is, I don't even disagree with you. That's the thing. I don't even disagree with you. I'm gonna bring it up. We got 400 people, 315 people right here on YouTube Live right now, and I'm gonna. You guys mark my words. I'm gonna bring up DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan will.
No. Bring me no.
Nick Claxton and DeMar DeRozan.
Obviously, Claxton's good. Claxton
No, they said
also
both. They're both, Sam. We're going back to the first round, baby. First round of the postseason. Let's lock in, big dog. I'm messing around, guys. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to get Sam pissed off.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Anthony, always call in. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
I say we call it. It is what it is. By the way, guys, I got a fun podcast with KOC coming out tomorrow. I think you guys will enjoy it. He got me hyped for the trade deadline. Honestly, he brought up my emotions so I can be super disappointed. But hey, you guys want that too.
Of course. All right. Much love. Appreciate y'all.